The first guy that we want to talk about today. Okay. His name is Jevon Jackson. And yes, if you watched our running backs video, our running backs draft, please go check that out. All right. I will spoil something though. One of us got Jevon Jackson and the other was pissed. All right. The other was pissed. And, uh, I'll leave it up to y'all to figure out who got who. But the reality is Jevon Jackson's a freaking stud player from UTEP. Okay. What do we have at New UTEP? We got a brand new stinking coaching staff in there. And boy, am I way higher on Scotty Walden than I probably should be. Way higher. Why am I higher than Scotty Walden? Well, he coached Austin P, the governors of Austin P, or PA, however you say that. I'm pretty sure it's just P. And look, he runs a spread option. His offenses have been unbelievable, right? He is an insanely young coach. When he was coaching at East Texas Baptist, it was actually believed that he was the youngest head football coach in all of college football at the time. He was 26 years old. Okay. He went over to Southern Miss to be a wide receivers coach and co-offensive coordinator. He was even the interim head coach for Southern Miss for a period of time. Um, then he went over and got hired at Austin P to be the head coach there. Freaking killed it. And now UTEP is bringing him in. And you know what I've said about schools like UTEP, especially UTEP, because their geography, like, I know it's in Texas, but it kind of is the worst part of Texas that you could be in. You got to get someone that is either going to be uh, a well-known high school coach, right? Someone like Joey McGuire that's got connections everywhere, or you got to be a guy who's an innovator on offense. And I think they got a guy that does that. You know, Jevon Jackson himself is 5'8", 200 pounds. You know, he's from Alabama. Fantastic running back in terms of just low balance point. He's slipping through holes. He's breaking tackles. I freaking love this guy. I freaking love this guy. I'm gonna let you talk about him a little bit though.
He is awesome. He was part of those record-setting offenses for Scotty Waldron and the Governors of Austin P. 200 off of 252 attempts, he had 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had a 57-yard run, which you guys will see here on that video. Thanks to our producer there, Matthew. I mean, it pretty special. This guy has got the juice. Yeah, I mean, we love it in high school, right? Running back, wide receiver, quarterback, linebacker, kick returner, everything you want. I don't know why that just hit thumbs up there. If you saw that, whatever.
Just remind me to hit the like button.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. We just run with it though. But yeah, he's had a really nice spring to adjusting to FCS to D1. And I know this is USA, but it's still going to be an uptick in talent level. And I think him and Scotty Waldron, his head coach, who brought him over there, um, I think they're both getting used to it. And it sounds like he had a really nice spring and scrimmage, running in between the tackles, even going outside. Ran with a lot of intensity. And I think that's something that they're going to really lean on this year. First year head coach, you need to be able to run the football. And I think Waldron understands that. And like we said, Jevon Jackson, part of the appeal fantasy wise was you saw his production in Scotty Waldron's offense. You've seen what he can do and the talent that he has. I believe it's going to produce and translate in the CUSA. And obviously, for UTEP, that's a pretty good sign for them.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to make this about Scotty Walden, right? Jevon Jackson, we're trying to highlight him, right? Because he is a fantastic football player. But the reason why we're also so high on him, like you talked about, look, the history of Scotty Walden. If you haven't watched our video on Scotty Walden, I really encourage you to go back in the archives and watch it when he first got hired. Okay. He played quarterback at three different colleges, right? Lower level schools, but three different colleges, right? So he saw all those different offenses right away out of college. He got hired to be a coach. Um, and he hasn't looked back ever since. And there's also a guy that we're going to talk about later, by the name of Buster Faulkner that he coached with at Southern Miss. So he's just had the ability to like learn a lot really early, and he's just had success. And yeah, we know he loves to run the football. We know he does. And Jevon Jackson, I think you found this little nugget here that Jevon Jackson is already dazzling coaches on in the spring early, and yeah, he's a transfer. And we're like, oh, is it going to translate, to the next level? I think 5'8", 200 pounds is a great build for a running back. He's durable, he's thick, but he's also small enough. He's got good contact balance. He's gonna slip through holes, like I already said. He's a fantastic running back, and you're going to see him break tackles. You're going to see him have patience. Um, they ran, Brody Knows Ball does good stuff on YouTube. If you haven't watched every single game that he's ever posted, which I wouldn't have expected you to, but you can go back and watch, you know, the Chattanooga game and a few other games that he played in, and you can just see the patience. You can just see his vision and his patience that he has. And yeah, sure, UTEP is playing with an offense entirely made of transfers, not just like new transfers from this year, but like last year's and year before transfers. It basically every single player on UTEP's offense will have started at a different school that was not UTEP before they got here. So we'll see actually like kind of how that all fits together and kind of a nice yet another uh case file of a case study of what the transfer portal can do to some of these teams. So it'll be interesting to see what Jevon Jackson does this season, which both you and I expect him to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, and real quick, touching on the schedule that he's got there. They start off with Nebraska, right in Lincoln. That's going to be pretty tough. I won't lie. We've done a lot of talk about Nebraska defense, specifically that D line. It's going to give everybody headaches, and no exception is UTEP. And they're playing at home once in the month of September, or I guess August and September, right? So that's not ideal for an all new offensive transfers, a new coaching staff, blah blah. Jevon Jackson trying to transfer over to FBS level, but it's kind of being thrown in the fire right away. I do think they have a bye week the end of September, starting in October. You get into the CUSA play, and I think there's going to be some real opportunities for him to put up numbers. You're going to have these midweek, like Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday games in prime time. You're going to like, who's this kid? This little short guy from UTEP. And oh, look at him go. And it's going to be pretty exciting. So we're telling you now. We're telling you, get to know him now. So you're not surprised come this fall.
Yeah, I would say as a Nebraska fan, I wouldn't be overly worried, because your defensive line is really good. I'm sure that it's going to handle that UTEP offensive line. But look, if you happen to be tuning into that UTEP Western Kentucky game on October 10th, or tuning in for that I guess not the Tennessee, but the New Mexico State game on Thanksgiving weekend. That's going to be an awesome one at 3 p.m. there. Definitely a watch. Definitely a watch. Are they playing week 0? No, they're not. They're playing
Nope.
week 1.
Labor Day
So
weekend.
they did last year, I'm pretty sure. And they lost. Oh, that was so brutal.
That was the Jack State, right? That was just
Yeah,
the end of I forget the UTEP's coach, but that was tough. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And what's the name? Who's the gunslinger quarterback there that just
I don't even
he
want to
let me
talk about it.
down. He let me
I don't
down
even want to talk about it.
so bad. I had UTEP like -2. It was such a bummer. I thought it was such a lock, but whatever. Anyway.